Hi and welcome to I Design My Life. I'm Sumit and I'm a life and a mind coach. So today we are going to discuss something which is very important, and that is beliefs. Universe is not made up of atoms. Universe is made up of beliefs. And that's what we are going to discuss today. Beliefs drive our life. Beliefs are responsible for our behaviors. Our values are our beliefs. The reason beliefs is very important is because everything we do comes out of our beliefs. For example, if you don't like someone, your actions will speak about your beliefs. If you love someone, your actions will speak about your beliefs. If you don't feel good about anything, your body will talk about your beliefs. You might have a different kind of face, your body might be tight. So everything is belief driven, and that's what we are going to dive into today. So what are we going to cover in the belief section? We are going to see how beliefs are formed in the first place. Then we'll see the sources of belief. Then we will see the kinds of beliefs and the category of beliefs and what are the beliefs we should really be worried about. And then in the end, we'll talk about limited beliefs and how we can change our limited beliefs, and also how we can recognize what are limited beliefs. So let's start with understanding how beliefs are formed in the first place. So let's say there is an event. Event is something which happens in the external world on which you have got no control. For example, when I see a dog, I don't like dog. Now listen to my statement. I don't like dog, right? So my behavior would be, whenever I'm going to see a dog, I'm going to move away from dog. So if I'm moving away from my dog, then we need to look at what are my beliefs regarding the dog, which is creating this action in which I'm moving away from dog. So let's try to understand how my beliefs about dog got formed in the first place. And this is what we are going to concentrate in our video today. So let's say there is an event. I saw a dog barking. I move away from the dog and try not to face the dog. There are a lot of things which happen in between. So let's say this is you and this is your brain. So what happens is, as soon as you see a dog or an event, you sense the dog through three senses. One is visual, audio, or feelings. So if we sense the world, we mostly sense the world through these important mediums, which is visual medium, auditory medium, or kinesthetic medium, or the feeling medium. There are other mediums as well, smell and touch. However, these three are the main mediums. We perceive the world through these three senses or mediums. Now, between these senses and our head, there is something called as a filter. And this filter contains three things: generalization, deletion, and distortion. Something happens in this filter and we create an event in our heads at this place. Let's see this entire process and see where belief would have been created, at what place the belief was actually created. So let's look at this external event. No, it's an event. A dog can always come in front of you. You cannot control that. An event is something which life throws upon you. You have got no control over it. It's an event. You sense the world or the event through these three main senses, which is your visual sense, auditory sense, and a feeling sense. Now you move on to this filter, the filter of generalization, deletion, and distortion. And that's where the beliefs gets made. So I'll talk about each of these in detail now. So what is generalization? Generalization means to generalize the thing. You see one thing and you expand it and create a belief around those things. For example, you might look at the switchboard in your home. So you've seen this plug. When you look at this plug, even if you go to Europe or US, when you see that plug, you would know that all right, this is for electricity. So this is a generalization. You know how to drive a cycle. So when you know how to drive a cycle, you have that confidence in you that you can drive the scooty as well or any other two-wheeler. Because you know that your body knows the balance. This is generalization. Generalizations are basically of two types: healthy generalizations and unhealthy generalizations. So the generalizations I talked about are healthy generalizations, which allow you to sense the world and progress further. But there are few generalizations which are not healthy. For example, when I see a dog, I move away from it. And the reason I move away from it is there's a story behind that. So when I was a child, I saw my friend being bitten by the dog. And then I saw him going to the doctor and getting the injections. All that process was very painful for me. And that's when I got this image in my head that dogs bite. Now my generalization is, whenever I see a dog, I always think it is going to bite. So for me, the generalization is all the dogs in the world bite, which is not a very healthy generalization, because there might be few dogs which might be nice. And you will see a lot of people who are fond of dogs. So definitely my generalization is not right, but that's how I'm generalizing it. Other examples of this could be, an employee comes late to office twice, and the boss generalizes, he's always late. So these are examples of generalization. It is good for us, it is bad for us as well. Now coming on to the next important point, which is deletion. So our mind deletes a lot of data. So what do I mean by deletion? It means that you delete a lot of things. For example, so let's say you are in a room, you're deleting what is by your side. You're deleting the sounds. You're deleting your heartbeat. All these exist, but you're deleting that. So in my case, a deletion would be that you see all those dog lovers. But when I'm creating a generalization, when I'm creating a belief, I believe that all dogs will bite. So what I'm deleting is there are a lot of dogs which don't bite and they are very, very nice and they love you and they are very loyal. So this is the kind of deletion I'm making. The third kind of important thing is distortion. Distortion means changing the shape. For example, you pick up a paper and then you crumble it. So you've changed its shape. In our sense, distortion means changing the meaning of things. For example, a wife comes and serves the tea to the husband. And she's really, really loving. Husband might think, she needs something. That's why she's very nice to me. Now this is a plain example of distortion. That lady might be really caring for that person and she might be really loving. But this gentleman changed the meaning of the event. When we change the meaning of the event, that's distortion. So whenever something gets created in this portion of the mind, I'm going to call this portion as event me or event M. And the initial event we talked about was event T, true event, and EM, my event. So whenever I'm creating a my event in my mind, it has to go through these three filters. So the equation is ET is not equal to EM. So the actual event is not actually the real event in my mind. So ET is not equal to EM. My event is very different from the actual or the true event. And my behavior is driven by the event which gets created in my head. And this event is the root of the beliefs. I have formed a belief that all dogs bite. Based on this, I generate thoughts that this dog will bite me. Based on that, I create an action that I move away from the dog. So you see, I created a belief. A belief is my reality. It is very real for me. It does not really matter whether it is a true belief or not. My beliefs are my sense of reality. This belief is not actually the true beliefs. So you will have so many dogs, nice dogs, but my belief is dogs bite. Now there might be n number of dogs which don't bite. So my event is very different to the true event. And that's why everyone create our individual events based on this filter of generalization, deletion and updation. And that's where beliefs are born. Now this filter of generalization, deletion and updation is very unique to everyone. That's why our beliefs are very, very unique. Our belief might not be the real truth, but our belief is our truth. And this is what we believe in. And then we act according to our version of the belief of our truth. Our behaviors are the outcome of our representation of the truth, which is our beliefs. I hope I'm making sense, guys, because this is where most of the things go wrong. So if we have got limited beliefs, then something is wrong in this filter and we have perceived the world in a very different way than what it actually is. For example, I was working with this lady who was having a difficulty in a relationship, and there was one incident which she told me. She said that, I was at home and my husband came late, so he was very, very late and he did not inform me as well. So I just thought that he was out and he didn't care about me. He was out and he didn't care about me is a belief. Now, as soon as her husband came, she started bursting out on him because her behavior was being driven by this belief. He doesn't care and he didn't inform me. Now when husband came, he told her the story after she burst out that I had a friend and I had to take him to the hospital and my phone got discharged, so I could not inform you. But taking my friend to the hospital was very, very important for me, so I didn't inform you. Now you see what happened? There was an image of her husband who was not caring. What happened was something got added to this experience and he told her something different. So her experience got wider. Now it had another image as well where her husband was taking his friend to the hospital. She calmed down because her belief changed. There was a shift in her belief because now she did not perceive her husband as non-caring. She thought that he is a very caring person because he saved someone's life. So you see, shifting the beliefs shift the behaviors. Also, our beliefs might not be true. They are our version of truth. However, they might not be the actual truth. So guys, please remember this equation. ET is not equal to EM. ET is true event. EM is my event. My event is always coming through this filter of generalization, updation and deletion, and it might not be actual truth. So before you are taking any action or you are behaving in a certain way, please remember this equation. It is your truth only. So invest time in understanding the entire world. Invest time in understanding and getting to the actual truth before you take any action. So guys, this is it for this session. What we are going to do is, in the upcoming sessions, we are going to talk about two things: the source of our beliefs and the kind of beliefs. When we will talk about the kind of beliefs, we will talk about the beliefs which we should really worry about. And then after that, we will talk about limited beliefs and how we can change our limited beliefs. So guys, that is it for this video. Please remember to say to yourself, I am responsible for my life and I design my life.